I opened this and instantly just a wave of memories came over me. These are cloves, if you're unfamiliar with it. Cloves are that quintessential like holiday smell. Reminds me of baking in the fall, but cloves can be used year round. Don't think you're just limited to those warm and cozy recipes. If you've never worked with whole cloves before, they kind of look like these little golf ball tea. It looks like a little golf ball on top with the tea on the bottom. But you'll probably instantly recognize the smell, the aroma, if you haven't even used it before. It's common in pumpkin spice, it's common in Chinese 5-spice. You can find ground cloves, but usually use it in a blend of spices. The whole spice is usually used just to flavor just as the whole spice. If you wanna use cloves in a recipe, I put it in a lot of teas. I'll do honey, lemon, and some cloves in a lot of drinks, especially in the fall. A quick way to use it is you'll take a little piece of citrus and you'll just stud the cloves in there. Since they're kind of like a pin you can push in there. If it's a little hard to poke in there, you can use the tip of a fork or a knife to make a little starter hole. But this is an easy way to add cloves to especially drinks without the need to fish them out. You attach them to something larger so they're easy to fish out. You don't chew them or swallow them. So just like that, easy way to add cloves, especially if you're making a tea or a beverage that you want to steep some cloves into. Now, normally you wouldn't just chew on a clove, but the flavor is very roasty, warm. It's a little bit like sharp and spicy, not heat spicy, but spicy. Ooh, there's a strong flavor. And it also has this little bit of a numbing quality. If you've had cloves in drinks before, kind of makes your tongue all tingly, your mouth all tingly. But I feel like the signature of cloves is the smell. It adds such an incredible aroma. That's a little hard to describe because every time I smell cloves, I associate it with the holidays. And then I never think of like, what does it smell like? But it's very dark, warm, roasty. It's a little bit bitter tasting, but I like that slight bit of bitterness. It's maybe even a little raisiny or like a dark fruit. It just has like a deep, rich flavor. Clove is often paired with orange, so I'm gonna take just a small slice of orange zest, but you can do the same thing. Stud it with a few pieces of your clove to add flavor that way. So clove and citrus, funny enough, are often paired together. I use clove in simmer pots, a variety of recipes. Clove is also very woody. This is another great way to use some clove, just some orange peel. Very common flavors together. Probably have had clove if you've had like a holiday ham. You'll stud the ham with the cloves. You'll poke a little indent with a paring knife and then insert your cloves. It really does infuse its aroma into recipes more so than its actual flavor. If you have whole cloves and you want ground cloves, you can of course use a mortar and pestle or a spice grinder. But if you want just a little clove accent, the best way to get a little bit of clove, ground clove, if you only have the whole clove, is just use a little microplane. Just be very careful since they're very small. You can even use the rasp on a box grater, but it's just a good way you can break it up. So you really just will have to go through a few of them just to get a little bit. That's the best way to go at it. A little clove does go a long way, so you usually only need a little bit. Just be careful, watch those fingers, and usually I just do a little bit and then move on to a new one. In most cases, you'll just skip the grinding altogether, use ground cloves, or just use them whole and fish them out. Rich and aromatic, it says on the label, which is very true. When it comes to cloves, a little goes a long way. I find in most recipes and drinks and teas, you only want 3 to 4 cloves because the flavor and the aroma is pretty strong.